This content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Goren Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom. What's up? Good morning. Oh man, it says we're having trouble streaming to LinkedIn. We'll keep trying, let you know if it's resolved. Please check LinkedIn, ensure the stream looks okay. All right. Well, 90% of people are on Twitter, but I do know there's a couple people who watch on LinkedIn. So
all the important people. No, well, they're all important.
How dare you? I think trying to remember.
We're gonna miss out on Emilio though.
Emilio, yeah, Emilio, New Jersey. He's always posting on LinkedIn. Emilio, I'm sorry. Find us on Twitter. On X. I'm still stuck on Twitter. Sorry. Emilio found us. All right. The world is good. So who cares?
Now we're good.
New Jersey hardcore, right there. See, NJHC.
Glad you found us.
All right.
Matt, welcome.
What's up, dude?
So we got to fix
okay,
the
wait,
bottom.
really?
Glad to be here.
Okay, so
at the bottom, you say Draper Goren Blockchain on it.
Oh yeah, we should edit that. I'll do that in a second. Do you know you can edit it by clicking the edit name and headline thingy down below? Oh, Nate's joining us too.
Matt, so we're gonna test Matt real quick. Matt,
wait. We always forget this. Welcome. We do this every Tuesday morning. This is the DGB live stream. Go to dgb.vc if you want to get on our newsletter. If you're an early stage startup, especially in the blockchain space, but in the fintech space in general, hit us up. We want to hear about your company before anybody else. If you're an early stage investor wanting to get involved in this place, message us as well. We want to hang out with you. We want to be your wingman on all these deals. Matt, welcome.
If you watch my Twitter videos, even the old people watch us.
Even the old people watch. Oh, that's right. You know, and just to go along with that really quick, just because of this ADD moment.
Breaking news. According to the DGB show, you can now believe everything you see on the internet.
Rankin was talking about one of those kind of videos. Okay. But now that we've wasted the first 5 minutes, Matt set it up perfectly.
Oh, nice, good job, Matt. One of us.
So Matt has joined our team. He is in charge of investor relations, and he came from another VC firm. And we thought it would be fun to have him on the live stream and hang out as part of the informal family hang. But Matt, why don't you give everyone your background and tell us who you are?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll kind of start from the beginning. Originally from Vancouver, British Columbia, went to UBC. Shout out Thunderbirds. Initially was pursuing law, but then was super bored of that. Realized that hey, that's what my parents wanted me to do, and I hated it. So kind of flipped the script. Decided to pursue computer science, started coding my own apps, kind of launched me into the startup space. Founded my first startup with my college best friend and roommate. We kind of grew that. It was kind of like a web dev SEO agency. Found some success there and then grew that, and then eventually kind of turned into actual work. And so, why does everybody jump into startups? It's because, we don't do it because it's hard. We do it because we thought it'd be easy, right? So from there, kind of jumped from there to my next startup. That unfortunately failed due to COVID. Spun out into my next startup, mobile app for professional athletes, connect with younger athletes. We had some success there, but due to some co-founder issues, that unfortunately shut down. But that kind of led me to jumping on the other side of the table in traditional VC at Cortado Ventures. Early stage venture capital firm based out of Oklahoma City. So I was over there for the last 2.5 years.
Epic. Epic. So what was that?
And now over at Team DGB. So here we are.
Sounds like the startup journey, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like the journey people are on when you're in startups, and you try and create your own, and you start trying to like launch a company. You're going from one thing to the next. I think that's also the secret sauce of starting your own company, right? When you start your own company, you don't know where it's going to lead you to, but if you have some sort of skill set and work ethic, it's going to lead you into the next project. Even if the first one failed, that first company failed, it's going to lead you to the next one. And then it might put you in touch with a couple other people you weren't in touch with before, right? From that first one. And now you develop some new skills, right? You develop a couple of different, maybe some new avenues that you could go ahead and lean in. And then now you get to the third one, you're like, I don't know how we're here. And then
now you can do a couple dozen.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, and then, but like, it's almost like a ladder. If people are aware of it, it's like a ladder, but going up. You definitely go back down on the ladder a couple times too, right? You know, but it trajects, you know.
I was about to troll you. I said, don't all ladders go up? It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're saying. I'm just
as long as you don't hit the slide.
You know, oh crap! Remember one of the fake, not fake, very real but AI experiments. I tried to. I did like a thing over a weekend with my son where we were playing with Replit, and we were both going to make a game using Replit. And build a game in like a 24-hour period, and then we were going to compete and see who made the best game at the end of the weekend. And one of my failed experiments was like a shoots and ladders kind of game. You brought that up. We should do that one day. We should do like from 1 week to the next. Like you must build something from scratch and compete and see who wins. But something fun.
Do like a DGB hackathon.
Well, that's what we were saying is hackathons used to be like a startup weekend, right? You'd get in on a Friday night, you'd meet people, you'd break off into teams, and you work all day Saturday. And by the afternoon, Sunday, you would have some presentation to show. But like, we should be able to do those as a single day thing now, right? Like you don't need the weekend to test something out. You don't need anything. Like you can have a V1 4 minutes after you meet the people once you agree on an idea, you know?
Yeah.
It's still a challenge to actually get a working product. It's not 100%.
And to actually test some assumptions and things like that takes time. You can't just do it in a second. And oversimplifying it, but compared to what people had at the end of startup weekends, it was
Give it another year.
The reason I bring it up is because I'm still constantly mind blown at people who come to you with nothing to show for their idea. They're pitching an investor and they have nothing to show for it. And I'm like, guys, like, come on. It's like a 3-minute make a demo version of your thing. There's a million AI tools or even not, right? Like even pre-AI tools, there's Figma and all that stuff.
I will give credit. So it's funny because I get a lot of propositioning of business services, right? And so what's funny is I often will check to see, like, is this a legit company? Is this somebody legit, right? And so one of those such things this week was a site, like, got the email, checked to validate their site. And it was obviously a site that was built fairly quick and lovable. Like none of the links worked in the site. It says that they've been doing business for a while and have improved or helped created all these contacts and relationships with all these companies. And I'm like, looks great, but nothing worked. It was absolutely built on lovable. And the fact that this guy has the gumption to reach out, I applaud him for trying to start a business, right? But at least have something working when you're going to reach out to people.
It's like when you develop like those clickable prototypes in Figma, but then you try to click somewhere else, and it's like, no, you want to click here.
Yeah. It's like nothing worked on the entire site, and I'm like, okay, you might catch a few people. I give him props. He's trying to test the market and see if he can get before he builds it.
It's the thing is, yeah, you have to show something for it, but you can't just straight up lie, right? I'm gonna segue for a second because this is really interesting for our industry. And
well, hold on, real quick.
Okay,
along with that, I did reply to him that said, "Hey, it looks like you're a new company. If you're looking for a VC, let me know." So if you are that person who hasn't finished building out your site and are looking for a VC partner in the space who wants to help encourage you take your business to the next level, reach out to us. That's where I was going with that.
That's awesome. No, that's great. And so I mentioned Figma before, and it reminded me of something I posted yesterday, actually. Figma's going public, and in one of their revisions of their forms, they shared they talked about their upcoming potential of raising more money, and they put that they've authorized the issuance of undesignated preferred stock and blockchain common stock that our board of directors could use to, among other things, issue shares of capital stock in the form of blockchain tokens, implement a stockholder rights plan, other preferred stock or common stock. So the reason why I'm showing that is basically because this is a company that's going public, that's in their going public docs, reserving the rights to launch tokens or tokenize their common stock, which, by the way, I own the domain name digitalsharesclass.com because I saw that early. People are going to start having digital shares classes, right? Figma, you want that domain name? Let's make a deal.
But institution wants that. Come on.
Well, I'm not selling to an institution. I will give it to a startup who's competing with those institutions.
You just heard that.
Let's go.
You just heard that. Come join DGB and you might get a donation.
But that's crazy, right? So if you think about it, we hosted the first security token summit, I think, in 2018. So we've been talking about digital tokenized blockchain common stock or whatever you want to call it for 7-8 years now. And it's now finally at the place where people are talking about it in a serious way, right? DTCC is going to start digitizing stuff in a meaningful way, like on a blockchain. It's happening in a public filing to go public. It's really cool. I don't know what does that mean for all of us.
I wonder if anybody's thought about that. So like there was a whole bunch of domain name squatting, right? I wonder how many people, instead of just selling out the domain name, took equity instead. I mean, imagine if you were sitting on like the Amazon.com and you're like, tell you what, I'm not going to sell your domain name. I'm going to give it to you, but I just want like 1% equity.
I mean, at that point,
that'd be pretty damn good deal, right?
It would, but do they even know what they have at that point, right? So are you even going to give up a percent of equity? Probably not.
Yeah. But like you're turning over, you bought it, you probably paid $50 to $100 over like a year or two, and you're getting shares. You're like, it's like, here's my investment.
I think you think a little outside of the box than someone who actually would have done that. I think you would have done that. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking because I had a whole bunch of domain names at one point. I was like, if somebody actually came to me and said, "Hey, I want to build a business with this domain name. Like, can I buy that off you?" And I would have been like, "Well, how about you give me equity?" And I'm thinking, I had somebody approach me like that for $500. They want to buy a domain name, and like $500 is not worth it. But had they said, "Hey, tell you what, I'll give you equity in my company," I've probably been like, done.
So did you count? The question is, did you counter them when they offered the 500?
I should have. I'm thinking about. I probably should have.
The thing is, most of the time though, when you're getting these offers for domains and stuff, it's in these weird, like a representative from GoDaddy is going, "Would you like to sell this domain name for $100?" And you have no idea.
GoDaddy needs to add this as like a feature. So,
I was just reminded actually yesterday. And I 1000% would have been so happy to get equity or do something.
Right.
But I think I've only sold a domain name one time of all the times. Every other time I've given it to startups or given it to friends or used them ourselves or whatever. One time I sold a domain name. I tried to find the people and I couldn't find them at the time to work a deal. And so I just sold it because for years, I tried to convince the Tezos community that NFTs on Tezos should be NFTs with a Z at the end because Tezos's logo is the TZ. Right. So everything on Tezos, like Kevin's stablecoin USD Tez is TZ. So I tried to go NFTs with a Z at the end. And so I owned all the domain names, nftz.com, whatever. I don't even know if it was .com, but I owned like 5 of them. And one day I got a notification trying to buy it from me, I think for like $1,000 or something. I'm like,
oh man,
shit, I've been trying for years. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it. And so I think I sold it to them. And then I went to the site and it was like an NFT platform, but it wasn't even on Tezos. And then like 6 months, a year later, the site was down. They ended up, failing or doing something. Actually, I think they sold it or they merged with some other platform. I don't think it was like a failure situation. I think they just didn't use that name anymore. But
think they were in Puerto Rico.
What was that?
Think they were in like Puerto Rico.
I don't know what we could look it up, but the thing was when I first got hit up on NFTZ. No, I think the funny thing is this isn't even the group nftz.me. I think it's not even, there is an NFT platform there. I don't even know what blockchain this is on, but
there's too many NFT platforms that have like bailed, and we haven't even really started the second cycle. And they're like, "Oh, we're done. We're gonna go move to AI now because that's been like."
Will there be a second cycle?
What are we talking about? Like we're headed off.
Matt, you got any NFTs?
Honestly, haven't cracked open my wallet like in ages. So I think I got a few, but they might have just been from like airdrops. I remember there was, I don't know if you guys remember that like horse racing platform. It was on yeah. So I think I still have a couple of those. But
nice.
Dude, not
have you hung out yet with our guys at I'm Draper. Racino. I kept wanting to say Captriz, which obviously is Daniel's company, but Racino.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to check out Racino. So anybody who hasn't seen Racino is they're doing something similar to the horse racing thing, but with F1 cars. So you set up your car, you get it ready, but there's a little bit more. It's less random and more skills because you can set up your spoiler, you choose the tires, you set up the thing, and then you race, and there's some gaming involved, some betting and stuff like that. It's pretty rad. You got to check it out. We should have them back on and do an update.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be really, really cool. That's funny. We Rankin and I are the reason I'm trolling him on the NFTs is because we're both hardcore holders.
Yeah,
we're crazy, and I got to troll.
What's the isn't there Bored Ape vodka or something like that too? Or
well, yeah, that's John's board vodka. So John Dorfman, aka Sailor Gary, has a company called Nifty Spirits. And it's more of an IP company than it is a vodka company, but they are literally one of the best craft vodkas in the world. And I'm not even speaking hyperbole. It's not just because he's my friend, because they're a portfolio company and I love them. They literally have won the New York International Spirits Competition, the LA International Spirits Competition as the best craft vodka. And they use crazy technology to distill it and make it like amazing, and it's really cool. But they decided to build a cool IP company on top of the fact that they could make awesome vodka. They also are starting to make Ape Strong whiskey, and they made like the GN gin and stuff like that. But the idea is that they can spin up really cool new IP for an alcohol brand very quickly and catch memes while they're still popular. So like their Doge vodka and stuff like that. There was like a funny story he told when he first started the company, basically saying, okay, our vodka has won all these awards around the world or whatever. And then he went to his distributors, like, how many cases can I make now that I was USA Today's best craft vodka? And they're like, I don't know. Like they like basically like 1,000 cases. I'm making up numbers. I have no idea. And he's like, I thought we'd get so much more from winning all these competitions. And they're like, no, it's like a marketing game, whatever. And he's a crypto nerd. He's like, what if I made a Doge vodka? How many cases would you buy? And the guy's like, oh, I'd buy like 12,000. Like I'd put them on the shelf at Costco tomorrow. Like, and so he realized it's all in the marketing. So even though he has the best vodka in the world, literally, he realized, meme marketing and things like that was more important. And so he does have the board vodka. They also have the trademark for board vodka, which I think is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Alon, what I'm hearing is, it sounds like we all need to meet up and do an in-person tasting here.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
There, he's got the.
Oh
Doge.
shoot! Okay.
So there it is.
We've also got the. Don't forget, he does gin as well. Good night, GN gin.
Good night, gin.
I think there's another one. There's a good night. Different bottles. GM gin. Good morning, Jim. Gin.
Let's go.
I have to check, Matt. I'll check your address because if it's in one of the places that I'm allowed to send stuff to, I'll send you a bottle or a case. I send everybody a case. I send everybody cases with the one with my ape on it.
Oh no way! I'm gonna set that up in a display behind me then.
That's right. So it's really funny because it's both Rankin and I are probably the most excited of all the people I know about it, and we probably drink the least.
Definitely. Yeah.
Although, you have the. Can you? Okay, can I see the bottle? Can you open it? Because there's a. I was in talks with them, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this out loud. My ape is not on that bottle, right?
Can't see it.
That was part of the argument. But okay, yeah, they gotta. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make a custom label.
All their stuff. I love what they're doing.
I love it too.
But I think it's awesome on the branding aspect.
That is fun. The definition of NFT, collecting it, right? I love it.
Hey, it should age well.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not going against you. I'm just calling you what it is. Love it. Collecting.
Nate, are you holding any?
Like NFTs? Yeah, I think I still have a couple old ones. I haven't gotten any new ones in a while.
Well, check this out. This is like showing proof of like people just don't realize like this is Doodles from McDonald's. This is a Doodles from McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's pretty
Good
cool,
point.
Right?
Yeah.
Did your Doodle at least get you like a free?
I don't own any Doodles. I don't own a Doodle. I don't own a Doodle, sadly.
Yeah, I don't either. What's really funny? I remember feeling like such a rock star when I bought my ape. I bought it what I thought was late, and I woke up the next morning like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I spent this much on an ape. It was, at the time, it was like 3 ETH or something like that, which at the time was, I don't know, probably like $4,000. But I kind of went nuts one night after one of the blockchain and booze sessions. Jason the ape was on, or Jason, he's the Hustle House on Twitter. He was on, and we were talking after blockchain and booze. Like, you got to get one. And I decided I moved some things around in one of my wallets, and I bought one. The next morning, I was like, oh my God. And I actually wasn't going to buy it. But when I scrolled and I saw this dude, I was like, he kind of looks like me. And so that was part of it. I was convincing myself. I was like, I own that striped shirt. And so I bought it. And the next morning I felt like an idiot. And I remember them going up. And Corey from Dolomite, at the time, he had a CryptoPunk. He still has a CryptoPunk. That's like his avatar everywhere. He's like, dude, sell it. Add a few more ETH. You're going to be able to buy a CryptoPunk. And I was like, no way, dude. It's going to pass CryptoPunks. And I was kind of like trolling him a little bit, but it did for a moment. And so then I like totally was like dunking on him. I was like, you should have flipped your CryptoPunk for an ape. And I was messing with him and stuff. And now we're back. I think CryptoPunks are worth like double.
Did you hear about the recent sweep of CryptoPunks?
I don't think so. No.
Somebody recently swept the floor on CryptoPunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much are they worth now?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Hold on. Let's see it. Hold on.
They're like I don't know. They're going for like around like 40 something ETH. But I remember back in the day when my buddy jumped on CryptoPunks and I was like, no, this is stupid. I'm not going to get any of these. And obviously, like the space, you're kicking yourself a couple of years later.
Yeah, it says floor price 47 ETH, at least on CoinGecko. That's crazy.
Where's that?
It says apes are like 12, 13.
OpenSea's got some listed at like 60 ETH.
No, I think like somebody sweep the floor on a whole bunch of CryptoPunks. I just woke up and found that 79 CryptoPunks were bought, all within 7 hours. They spent like $10 million or something like that.
Oh,
they
shit.
swept the floor on CryptoPunks.
That's a move right there.
Dude, that is a big-ass move.
Wonder what that guy was drinking.
That's a great question.
I just want to know like what kind of weird, crazy like leverage trades he does out of that wallet also. Because those guys are all crazy and they do those nutty moves that I never have the balls to do. I think when Dolomite launched, or actually before they launched, they were showing me some different things, and I went and I like did a bunch of like $5 leverage trades just to test it. But like on some platform, I did like 20x leverage. And it was like, if it goes up by $1, you're making, this crazy amount. And I did some really dumb bets that I instantly got liquidated on and went, okay, now I know how this works. But there's people who do it, like those multi-$1,000 or even $1 million leverage bets, maybe not 20x or 100x, but like serious bets. It's crazy. That's not me. My leverage is time. I'll just wait.
47 ETH a piece almost. It looks like about the average price. Swept the floor on it.
The question is, would you trade in your ETH right now with it going up?
Obviously not, because I have ETH and I don't have a CryptoPunk. But I am jealous I didn't buy one at some point. I do feel like that's one. I have some weird NFTs like.
I got lots.
Didn't someone recognize you at an event because of an NFT that you had sold to them or got them?
No, yeah. So that's the thing that so you know how like those memes are going around with the lore things? Have you seen that on Twitter? Like share your lore on Tezos, share your lore from the Bored Ape Yacht Club or whatever. So I shared this. So on Blockchain and Booze, back then we'd have Jason on because he's my buddy. And he got back into crypto and he's a sneakerhead, so he bought an ape. And that's how a lot of the original apes were sneakerheads that were flipping sneakers and stuff over COVID. And they're like, oh, I could buy this thing for a couple $100 and try to flip that too. And people are just being weird COVID, screwing around and magical internet money, right? Like, so we're all just goofing around. These guys bought it and we were going to have, I forgot his real name off the top of my head now, Beijing Dao on Twitter. He was going to come on too. And I was experimenting right after Matic had launched. Matic is what Polygon is now. And they had just launched. And we were doing a lot of experimenting back then. And people were saying how you could make NFTs on Polygon and there's no gas fees and things like that. Like it was practically free, similar to like Tezos and stuff like that. And so I wanted to experiment. And not a single person yet had ever done an airdrop of an NFT on Matic in a programmatic way. Maybe they sent their friends or they sent one or two. But I was like, what if I can make 10,000 of these Blockchain and Booze images that we have as NFTs and drop them into every single Bored Apes wallet? And I couldn't figure it out. I was messaging people, talking to people, and I found the multi-sender contract. That's the contract you use to do airdrops, right? And they weren't set up for ERC 721 NFTs, I think, or maybe it was the other one, ERC, whatever. Oh, you're dressed as your ape now? There we go.
I was not expecting that.
You can always count on Rankin. You can count on him to show up. He shows up. So where I was getting at is I was messaging people at like midnight, and I remember telling Jason, I'm going to do this. And he's like, what are you doing? This is like, he was not that aggressive. He's like, dude, this is stupid. This is spam. You don't want to be spamming people's wallets. And I was like,
I loved it.
Been on crypto. Like this is what crypto is you have a wallet and people send you shit like all day long. That's what an airdrop is. But nobody had done it yet on Polygon, and all these apes hadn't been a part of the crypto community for so long and don't realize how normal it is for shit like this to happen. I'm like, finally, you're going to get an airdrop that's not a scam. It's literally just going to say, we're doing blockchain and booze on Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Come join us. And I asked him, and he's like, I don't think this is a good idea. I asked Beijing Dao, that guy, DM'd him, and he's like, I think this is a bad idea. And like, I was like crushed because it was like midnight and I really wanted to do it. I was trying to figure it out. And I was like, this sucks. They don't want me to do it. Like, they're going to be mad at me. And then like, I don't know, a half hour later, I get a response back from Jordan Lyle. Actually, do you guys know Jordan? Jordan worked on Total, on one of the first version of Total, but he's like an NFT OG, and somebody who was working on something with him. He's like, I think this guy knows how to edit the multi-sender contract, but it's not going to work like without some finesse and some complicated stuff. And I messaged this other dude, and I was like, fuck it, I'm doing this anyway. And sometime around like 1 a.m. or in the middle of the night or the next morning, I figured it out. I did the airdrop. And in the metadata of the airdrop, it says, Jason and Beijing told me not to do this. I'm sorry. If this offends you in any way, I'll buy you a beer. And I sent that. And a bunch of people were pissed. A bunch of people thought it was epic. But I was like so transparent. I'm like, they told me not to do it. I did it. Deal with it. I'm not scamming you. I'm not doing anything. And you find me at a crypto event, I'm buying you a beer. And
you got to proof of the NFT.
And yeah, I told them to show me proof. But at a certain point, I was like, screw it. If somebody recognized me, be like, I'm an ape and you owe me a beer, I just bought him a beer. And I remember at some conference at some point, post-COVID and everything, I ended up, thankfully, it was like some cheap place that had like, I don't know, like Coors Light or something. And I ended up buying like 100 beers. It was awesome. And to this day, and it was, and the first, one of the first conferences I went to post-COVID was I went to New York to do one of our security token summits. And then I went to Minneapolis to VCon. And I was trying to low profile, hide, not be in the big crowds because it was still like right after COVID. And I was like trying to be all separated. But I remember being on the street outdoors in Minneapolis, going around to the back of the building to where like you can get in from like a back entrance thing. And I was walking towards the back entrance. Somebody who was waiting in the long line, like pointed at me from like 30 feet away, was like, Punk Ape Strong, you owe me a beer. And I was like, hell yeah. I felt like the coolest dude in the whole world. I was like, this is my rock star moment right here. It was pretty great. But that was the beer story, Nate. I think it's pretty good. I did a live stream with David Rankin back then where we were our apes. And Rankin decided to spend the whole hour in character speaking with a really, really wonderful English accent.
I didn't go back and find that. I remember what accent it was.
David, you got to break that accent out right now.
Well, I don't want to
it was just funny because after like 5 minutes, I was like, okay, dude, you can use your real voice now. And he's like, no, I will not use my real voice. But, I don't know. I can't do it.
Well, see, I'm not the ape. We were using the ape camera video. So we had there was an app when I had an iPhone.
Adobe Character Animator is what I
paid for the app. I paid for the app that gave me like, it's a VR,
filter.
AR, it's like an AR overlay of your face. And it was a bored ape. Then I could literally talk as if I was the bored ape. Unfortunately, I lost my iPhone. Not lost it, but lost accessibility to it.
Right.
What happened to it? I had it too. Oh yeah, they rebranded it to FLTR. So when I typed it, hold on, I'll try to show it to you guys.
But it was cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But I was using a thing called Adobe Character Animator. I actually paid a dude on Fiverr to take my ape and put it into layers and set it up as a thing. I have to.
Isn't it crazy what's happening with images right now, right? Like, just think like 15 years ago, right? You know, how long it took you to, like, think about like the Photoshop 15 years ago, right? And Illustrator, and how long it took you to like actually do some of the edits. And now, I mean, you use some of these new ones and the AI will just do it for you. The AI changes your voice. It'll have the video done. It'll cut up, you know.
Oh, we lost him. We lost Nate. Jeez. So Matt, I also do a mean Kermit the Frog as well.
All right.
You gotta some say in my household that I sound better as Kermit the Frog when I sing.
There's some really good Kermit memes out there. It's just they're pretty vulgar, but I don't think we can get into them.
Miss Piggy.
On Clubhouse, my icon back in the day on Clubhouse was actually Kermit the Frog sipping tea.
Oh yeah.
And I literally sat. I think it was like 3 hours. It might have been only an hour. I thought it was like 3 hours. I think I did a Clubhouse room for 3 hours one night, where I was Kermit the Frog the entire time.
I told you. Rankin shows up.
It's like, yeah, I don't mind having some fun.
I will tell you, just to add to the nerdiness for Nate and Matt, who might not know, my wife got me these hipster glasses, which I love now, and to match my ape.
Yes.
Oh.
So.
Oh, that's sweet.
The nerdiest shit ever, which I'm a huge fan of.
You have the same T-shirt?
Which T-shirt?
This black and white striped shirt.
Oh yeah, I do. Actually, I wore it out. I need to get.
I'm not the only crazy one here. Just remember that.
No, but I bought the ape because I was like, I've owned that shirt before, and I have that shirt for sure. And
so we need to figure out. Matt, you need to go out there and find out what NFT is going to be your next PFP.
I'm not using an NFT as my PFP right now on Twitter. I decided to go back to my regular picture.
The question is, what you posed earlier, will NFTs make a second comeback, second cycle? Where it's
I don't know if there's going to be some. Okay.
NFTs were never dead. They stayed on.
That's right. If you're not now, you never were.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm thinking is that it's, to me, right, are collectibles ever going to not exist? No, right? Like there was comic books, there's baseball cards, right? There's Pogs, which now, by the way, they did an NFT Pog thing. There's an on-chain Pogs, like actually officially licensed Pogs, but which is just awesome but silly. Collectibles are going to exist. Are people going to trust shit less and less every single day? Yes, because that's the world we live in, and there's going to be robots making robots, making robots, and so nobody's going to trust anything, right? I have enough of Matt talking on this live stream now to make call his mom with his voice, right? We're fucked, right? Like so will the technology? Yeah. I know everyone should give everyone a heads up. Like, I'm never calling you for money unless we meet in person. Don't trust it. Ask me questions, that I would know.
Yeah, there was actually this headline. I didn't read the whole article, but like I was walking my dog yesterday, just reading an article and or a headline, and it was like company got scammed out of $223,000 because like someone used the CEO's voice to get the analyst to, I don't know, allow some transaction or something. I can't imagine the type of shit show that analyst had to deal with the next day. But
dude, well, here's the thing is it went from, I was a teller when I was like, I don't know, 19, 20 years old. I was a teller at a bank for like a year. I don't know, Union Bank. And I remember an old lady coming in with a printed out Nigerian prince kind of email going, I need to wire $10,000 to this place. And me going, no, we're not doing this. And she's like, what do you mean? This nice man on the internet needs my help. And like, it was like a whole thing. And I had to go and call the manager of the bank over to like, that has known her for many years, to go like, no, this is a scam. And she didn't believe it. Like, it was too convincing, right? To then cut to how much smarter people are getting. There's still those kind of scams that are just like, you know, a shot in the dark. But now the scammers will get into people's inboxes, set rules and stuff that will delete emails automatically or hide them in a folder so that like I don't see that somebody's sending emails. And if you remember, like a few years ago, someone we know in our network got it ended up, to them it wasn't a crazy amount. I guess it's not a crazy amount when you think about what can be done, but like got a fake furniture store like $50,000 because what they did was they sat in the emails, they figured out what it was, they figured out the process, and they sent a message in the email from to their accountant, basically saying, hey, we're buying desks for the office and chairs and things like that. Can you wire 50 grand to this place? And the person went, okay, I just want to confirm, blah, 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 blah. And the thing was, the people were smart enough to respond to the message in the same way that the guy did it. So it wasn't like, you know, hello, this is Matt confirming the thing, right? It was like, perfect, thanks, dude. You know, like it was like they used the language the person did because they studied their stuff, and they didn't actually need to go and you know, social engineer Nate. They just had to get into his email account and hide the emails back and forth between the accountant, right? So
this happened to my wife last year, actually. And it was crazy because she was, I think like we were like trying to book a trip, or like she was trying to get concert tickets or something. I can't remember why, but she was on her laptop at like 2:30 in the morning for some reason. And she was like actively watching this person on the account delete the emails and then going into the deleted folder and then deleting. And like, she had no idea. And I like, honestly, I had no idea at the time too, but it was, you know, first reaction is secure your account, you know, change your password.
Do whatever you gotta do. Out about that. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was honestly by luck. Like she just noticed it while like it was happening in real time.
Somebody had gotten to her account and was actually utilizing it without her even knowing it.
Exactly.
They do it at 2 a.m. and stuff like that. Like, so remember one of our friends, and I don't remember what was public, what was not. So I'm going to say one of our friends got their crypto stuff taken, and it wasn't like a bot that just like instantly did all the transactions. It was somebody going on to like OpenSea and just accepting all the lowball offers and then sending all the ETH in one transaction away to another place. But they did it, and they took over their stuff, and they locked them out of their phone and all this stuff in the middle of the night, right before, I think it was Thanksgiving or some big holiday. And so like Christmas or Thanksgiving. So think about it. Imagine you wake up Thanksgiving, you might not even check into your stuff, but all of a sudden your phone doesn't work. All the stores are closed. You can't go into the Apple store to get your phone fixed, whatever. And so you go, okay, I'll get it fixed tonight, or I guess I'll have to wait and go to the mall tomorrow or whatever, because nothing's fixed. But imagine if the keys to some crypto was on that. And you just got wiped out of all your NFTs and a bunch of your money. Like they're smart enough to go, okay, we're going to do all this stuff in the middle of the night. You're going to wake up to all the alerts on your phone. But by that point it's over. Because also most people put their, I don't know, I do it. Like I've been doing it during the daytime now, which is maybe a little overkill, but like every night my phone at around 10 o'clock at night goes into the do not disturb mode, doesn't get out of that mode till I think 7 a.m. Or 6:30 when my alarm goes off during the school year, 7:30 in the summer. Like, so I wouldn't get the alerts anyway. It's crazy. So you get, okay, we were talking about NFTs, and here's where I'm going. We need proof. Is on-chain proof going to be the proof? Is there going to be a better version than on-chain proof? Sure. The technology in NFTs are perfect for receipts. Maybe it's NFTs. Maybe it's crypto tokens. Maybe the NFTs will act as our wallets for things, right? Like we talked about it back in the day. Could an NFT be a bank in itself, where it's like that acts as a credit card and you use that credit card? And by the way, that could solve a lot of problems, because right now, if I want to send Matt all of my assets, I can't do it in one transaction. I have to, the way most blockchains work, it's a single transaction at a time. But if the card is the key to the stuff, all I have to do is send him just the card. Now Matt has my bank accounts, right? So maybe the card as your trust. And somehow when there's proof that you died, it gets sent to your wife, to your kids, to whatever, right? So will the technology exist forever? Yes. Will collectibles exist forever? Yes. Will somebody launching an NFT just willy-nilly have the same kind of impact that a Bored Ape or whatever had at the time? Probably not in the same way, but there's always new artists. There's always new fads. There's always new shit, right? If you told people when we were in junior high, when I say we, Rankin and I were in junior high, that pogs were going to be a thing, most people probably went, that's fucking stupid, right? But it was a thing, right? Like on TV around the country, everybody was playing pogs. Will there be that again? For sure, right? You know, if I bet most people would have thought that there could never be another musical artist that was like that was a big pop star phenomenon situation in this day and age, like Taylor Swift just was, because most people would have been like, no, there's like a million genres of music now. There are big pop stars, but they're all different. There isn't going to be like one person that just everyone, almost everyone universally loves, right? Like there were videos last year of like the people at the beginning when they show up to the NFL game, they're walking in their cool outfits now, and it's like a thing to check out their swag and what they're wearing and all the stuff. And there were like everybody was being asked for a moment last year, like, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? And fucking 300-pound linebackers were like, Love Story, and like think about that. Like if you would have said that a year earlier, they're like, yeah, there's Billie Eilish, there's interesting, but there's never going to be like another Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. I can't really compare Taylor Swift to Michael Jackson, but like what I'm saying is filling up stadiums around the world, right?
Right.
But there always will be. There will be cultural phenomenons. Will a Bored Ape ever be worth $500,000 ever again? From my mouth to God's ears, but I doubt it.
Yeah, if you ask your kids who Michael Jackson is, do they know?
My kids?
Yeah.
They know because every year on Halloween they do the Thriller dance.
Thriller. There you go.
But I wonder how many kids.
And my son knows because of Weird Al. Because Weird Al has
so
fat.
Yeah.
It's, so stupid. It's so bad now. It's like it could never have flowed. Like in this day and age, it just would not.
But how many
I
kids
love Weird
don't
Al.
know who Michael Jackson is now?
Most don't. But I would say Americans versus the rest of the world. Because I didn't know this, but when I was a kid, Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. But anywhere else in the world, he was on a level that you didn't even realize. Bigger than the Beatles level, right?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to the American punk rock kid. But when I go visit family in other countries, he's the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
Right. We only heard about him because of controversy, right? They are obsessed.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel about NFTs. We'll see. I think the technology is rad. I think collectibles are going to be around, right? Like there's always going to be collectibles. There's always going to be certificate of authenticity. A hologram used to be the way we knew that a baseball card was real.
Yeah.
Now tell a kid, how do I know this is a real one? Look at this little thingy in the corner. And they'd be like, the fuck is that? They don't care. Right? Like they also don't care for the physical stuff the way that we do. Like they would rather have the digital thing, the tool on Roblox than they would actually the toy in real life.
Well, I think that's what sometimes a lot of people get wrong is they only pay attention to what is at the surface, right? What's right in front of you, not necessarily the technology behind it, right? And I think that's kind of the genius behind all the NFT stuff was all the software that was behind it, not even so much just what we were seeing on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, and the whole meme, and it's kind of true, but obviously not. Like everybody's like, "Hey, I got your JPEG," and they would take a screenshot of the NFT on Twitter, and they're like, "Look, I've got your NFT," and it was like, it's like me making a photocopy of Action Comics with Superman's first appearance and going, I got it, bro. Obviously it's not the same thing.
I think a lot of people misunderstood it. So like you said earlier.
Well, they still do, right?
Well, no, but NFTs are a receipt, right? And that's the important part to understand. And here's the thing, that receipt can be attached to anything. It can be attached to a liquidity pool, and that NFT represents a liquidity pool that is now earning interest. It can be attached to a Bored Ape. And the thing that I explained to people about Bored Apes, because they go, well, why the hell was a Bored Ape worth so much? And I said, well, why is the McDonald's franchise worth so much? And it's because when you drive down the street, you see the golden arches and you know exactly what to expect. You know what McDonald's is, right? When you see a Bored Ape, you know that there's actually a community of Bored Apes, and you can have a brand association and awareness with the Bored Apes. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what kind of products they're branding it with, because everybody kind of has flexibility with that. But that was really kind of the value that I saw in the Bored Apes, was that you were kind of buying into a franchise or some brand associated with the Bored Apes, right? Now, the problem is lawyers started getting involved, and all of a sudden people started protecting their IP more and going, okay, well, there's limitations. No, you don't really own any commercial use rights of this image that I just sold you. And so once that started happening, it just became a picture that you were buying, a collectible. And there's a big difference between owning just a picture versus owning a piece of IP that you get to have ownership on and actually use for commercial purposes.
Yeah. So this dude, who, especially because I added the guitar and all that stuff, I didn't do it. Reaper, the artist, Ben, our friend, he drew, he gave my ape life, right? He gave him a whole thing. But I can legally license this character to a TV show or whatever as part of my rights of holding my ape. So that's cool. So that was the whole thing at the time. The reason that I liked it and got behind it is because we had Jason and we had Bored Becky at the time, whose name is not even Becky, but it just rhymed with just alliteration. Yeah. She created a character. They created characters for their apes. So they encouraged me, you got to make a character. So I remember spending a few weeks on the live stream asking people, what should I name my character? What should he be? What's, the story? And then there were opportunities. We remember we had shirts made with our apes and things that people were making money. I have I actually have to make an update of it, but there is a coloring book that I put online that we raised money for charity one year over Christmas. Me and my kids made it over COVID times. We raised money for a really cool charity here in town called James Storehouse that gives money, that raises money to help kids in foster care. Right. And so, but I used my ape and I got permission to use a bunch of other apes to make a coloring book, and I own that IP. I could have done a business with it, but obviously I'm just doing it to experiment.
Well, and other people took their ape and made like things like ape water and stuff like that. Right. And so people were commercializing it and using it, which is really cool. I mean, that's why we have the board vodka. Right?
Snoop. The best example is Snoop and Eminem in their music video together had their apes do their whole thing. Well, there's Snoop's ape on a Skechers.
That's a Snoop Dogg shoe. Shoe. Can't see the whole shoe, I guess. But that's Snoop Dogg's ape.
What's that guy's name? What's his ape's name again? Do you remember?
Oh,
I forgot.
I don't remember.
I forgot now off the top of my head. But he had an ice cream for his ape, like Munchies ice cream thing.
Dr. Bombay.
Dr. Bombay. But it didn't work. But at his shows to this day, actually, I don't know about to this day, but I think still at his shows, some guy comes out wearing the whole getup and like is dancing on stage with the ape and the whatever. But it's a thing. Now, will people recognize it and will it be a thing? I got a lot of street cred amongst junior high and high school kids in my family for a minute because they found out I had an ape, and somehow they knew that it was worth a lot of money. But I don't know. Like
and then you wear it.
We'll see over time. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't wear my ape shirts out in public and stuff like that, because I don't want to be. I don't know. I did wear it once. Somebody's like, "Is that a Bitcoin thing?" And I said, "Kind of." And then I got made fun of for being a nerdy crypto guy. And now I'm that's the cycle, right? So we're all crazy. We're all nut jobs, and then we're all geniuses, and then we have to do it all over again. So now we have to try and find the companies, and I'm saying this as a little bit of a transition, but now we got to find the companies where most people look at them and go, "Are you crazy? That's nuts. You can't do that. You can't compete with the banks. You can't reinvent real estate. You can't reinvent collectibles. What kind of idiot thinks that would work? The kind of idiots that plan 10 years in advance, because eventually we all become geniuses or not. We'll find out in 10 years. But if you're into what we're talking about, and you are especially an early stage startup building something unique and wild and crazy, pitch us. We want to hear from you first. And if you're just in the community, sign up on our newsletter there. We keep saying this, but we got to do it. We'll start planning some of these in advance and putting the live streams in the newsletter too, so people can, so you guys can see them, and follow us all on Twitter. It's all below. Any last other things, guys? Anything we missed?
I don't think so. We will have a guest next week, though.
Oh, who's on?
Next week, our guest is
Haresh.
Oh, Rish?
Haresh. Yes,
Rish from Superworld. That's cool. Talk about NFTs. We're gonna it'll be interesting to see. They're making some updates, they're changing some things. They were the first people to do an overlay of the world on chain where you could buy plots of land and then you have certain rights to the land you own. So I've got all the important places, like my favorite hiking trails, on there. Other people, made business decisions by buying airports and stadiums and stuff like that. I bought the hill that CLU says CLU on it because I was going to donate it to the school and say, hey guys, like somebody do something with this. But we never did the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
sweet.
I bought very important things like Lizard Rock and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll have him on next week. So great. Any other last things?
No. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, welcome to the crew.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Have
Have a great week, everyone.
See you next week.
Peace.